What if you could remember every single moment of your life perfectly? Every conversation you've ever had, every face you've ever seen, every mistake you ever made. At first, it sounds like a superpower, like a perfect internal recording device that never fails you. But the more you think about it, the more unsettling it becomes. Because if you never forgot anything, you would never escape anything either. And suddenly, forgetting doesn't seem like a weakness. It starts to look like a necessity. To understand why, we first need to understand something surprising about your memory. It's not a recording. Your brain does not store memories like a camera stores videos. Instead, it rebuilds them every time you remember. This means every time you recall an event, your brain is reconstructing it from pieces, like a puzzle that is slightly different every time you assemble it. And that's exactly why we forget. Forgetting is not a failure, it is filtering. Your brain constantly removes details it considers unnecessary so you can focus on what matters. Surprising fact number 1. Your brain processes an enormous amount of information every second. But only a tiny fraction ever becomes long-term memory. Without forgetting, your mind will be overloaded with details you can't use. But what if that filter didn't exist? There are rare people in the world who experience something close to this. It's called Highly Superior Autobiographical Memory, or HSAM. People with this condition can often recall almost every day of their lives in vivid details. They can tell you what they did on a random Tuesday 10 years ago, what they wore, what the weather was like, what they ate. But here's something important. Their memory is not perfect in every way. They are not like human hard drives. They still struggle with general knowledge and abstract memory just like everyone else. Surprising fact number 2, only a very small number of documented cases of HSAM exist worldwide, making it one of the rarest cognitive conditions known. At first, it might still sound like a gift, but there's a hidden side to perfect memory, because memory is not emotionally neutral. Imagine never being able to forget anything embarrassing you have ever done. Every failure, every rejection, every painful moment replayed with full clarity. Your brain does not just store information. It stores emotion attached to that information. And emotions do not fade easily when the memory never weakens. This is where things become complicated. Surprising insight number 3, forgetting is one of the brain's most important emotional survival tools. It allows painful experiences to lose intensity over time. Without it, emotional recovery becomes extremely difficult. Now imagine, extending this to every human experience, not just pain, but everything. Your brain becomes a system with no off switch, no blur, no distance from the past. Cognitive overload would become inevitable. Every thought would compete with thousands of others for attention. And your present moment will be constantly interrupted by your entire past. But forgetting has another hidden role. It helps you learn. When your brain learns something new, it doesn't store every detail equally. Instead, it strengthens useful patterns and weakens irrelevant ones. This is why sleep is so important. During sleep, your brain reorganizes memories, straightening what matters and discarding what doesn't. Surprising fact number 4, much of what you learn during the day is only stabilized and refined while you sleep. Without this process, learning will become chaotic and inefficient. So your brain is not a storage device. It is a prioritization system. Now, let's imagine a world where no one can forget anything. Every argument would last forever. Every mistake would be permanently replayable. Forgiveness would become incredibly difficult because nothing would ever fade. Even personal relationships would change. A small misunderstanding could stay as vivid as if it happened yesterday, even years later. In such a world, emotional distance from the past might become impossible. And justice systems would also change. Perfect memory could help solve crimes, but it could also trap people in their worst moments forever. So, what would that mean for being human? Maybe the point of memory was never perfection. Maybe it was balance, the ability to remember enough to learn, but not so much that we become trapped by everything we have lived through. So, what if your brain never forgot anything? It might seem like a superpower at first, but over time, it could become something much harder to live with. Because forgetting is not just the loss of information, it is the brain's way of letting you move forward. And that brings us back to the original question. What if forgetting isn't a flaw of human brain, but one of its greatest strengths? Because sometimes the ability to move forward depends entirely on what are we allowed to leave behind.